Hi, welcome back to Cello from the Beginning. So we're ready to start a new piece. This piece is called Smooth A. It's completely on the A string, and it uses almost all the way through the rhythm that we worked on in the last video, the half note followed by two quarter notes. So if you haven't watched that video or worked on that exercise, go back and do that now. You're definitely going to want to print the sheet music out for this, which is linked in the description below, because it's a fairly long, it's a almost 30 measures, and so you want to try to remember all those. You want to be able to look at them. So when you're ready, when you've got the music printed out, go ahead and come back. All right, we're ready to start working. Let me just play a little bit of this at the beginning so you get a feel for it. So that's the first 8 measures. You hear that rhythm repeating over and over, right? All the way through half, note, quarter, quarter, right? So now all we have to do is add some notes to it. So we start at the very beginning with an open A, but look in the next measure where the note changes. And by the way, this changes, the notes only change each measure until we get to measure 18, and then we get a couple of additional notes per measure. But so mostly the changes of the notes will be by the measure. So we start out with an open A, but then we go immediately to a fourth finger on the A string, a high D. So before you start the piece, since that's your second note and it's coming right up, you want to make sure to find that note. So it's all tuned up. Fourth finger is right where it needs to be, it's ready. Then bow on the string, then you just lift your fingers off slightly so you can go right back to it. If you start with your hand out here and then you say, okay, I'm just going to play, and now it's time to play this note, I don't know where I am, my hand's out in the air. So always, if we can, we like to set our hand up before we start the piece, even if we're starting with an open string. So look at those first 4 measures. We have a pattern. We have a measure of A with our rhythm, then a measure of fourth finger, then a measure of A, then a measure of 4. So we just go back and forth between the A and the 4 on the A. So let's try that together. 1, 2, ready, play. A, 4. So that's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Only 2 things we have to watch out for: tuning that fourth finger and then making sure that our bow change and our finger change line up so that we don't get, we get that real clear. So that's the first 4 measures, very easy. Let's look at the next 4. Also easy, a repeated pattern here. We now go to first finger for a measure, then back to fourth finger, then back to first finger, then back to open A. So let's try that. We'll start with 1. This is measure 5. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 4, 1, and A. So that's the first 8 measures. A, 4, A, 4, 1, 4, 1, A. Let's see if we can string those together. So we're going to find our fourth finger. Check that with our open D string. Bow is on the string. Finger comes off. 1, 2, ready, play. A, 4, A, 1, 4, job. Let's talk about one other thing before we continue that you may have noticed, and hopefully you were imitating, which is that I'm trying to connect all of these notes. I'm not doing this. Right, where there's a big gap or space between them. I'm trying to keep that note going all the way to the end of its time and then smoothly change my bow. We call it smooth A, this song. So very smooth bow changes, everything connected, everything legato, as we say. Everything connected, everything smooth. All right, let's look, that's the first 8 measures. Let's look starting at measure 9 at the next group of 4 measures. Also very easy. So we've just finished open A. We're going to play a measure of 3, 4, 3, 4. So very easy, so let's find that. Find our 4th finger. So we're ready, 3rd finger's down, bow's on the string. 1, 2, 3rd finger, 3, 4, 3, 4. Another easy pattern. We've played things much harder than this already. So let's go right on to the next 4 measures. We get 4, another 4, 1, A, 1. So 4, 1, A, 1. Let's try it. 4th finger's in tune. 1, 2, ready, play. 4, 1, A, 1. All right, let's see if we can put these 8 measures together. So this is measure 9 through 16. So we're starting with 3rd finger, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 1, A, 1. So 3rd finger's up, 1, 2, ready, play. 4, 3, 4, stay on 4, 1, A, 1. So everything's smooth, connected. Pretty easy pattern. Let's see if now, if you're comfortable with that, if you need to stop and practice that, that's fine. If you're comfortable with what we've done, then let's go on and try to do, from the beginning, those 16 measures. So remember, we have to check our 4th finger and find our hand position. Check that with the open D. Shouldn't sound like this. It's too low, too high. Just right. So we're ready. 4th finger, we found it, bow's on the string. Lift 4th finger, lift our fingers. 1, 2, open A. 4, A, 4, 1, 4, 1, before we go on, let's talk about one more technical detail that I want you to watch out for. Now, you should have already been doing this because we've talked about it in earlier videos, but you should notice that when I'm playing 4th finger, I've got all 4 fingers down. I'm not playing 4, 1, 4, 1 like this, or 4, 3, 4, 3. So when playing 4, all 4 fingers are down. When I'm playing 3, 1, 2, and 3 are down. When I go from 1 to 4, 2, 3, and 4 go down. That'll give you a nice, strong hand, and it will help you find those notes in tune. All right, so that's the first 16 measures. So now let's learn the end here. And this is where the pattern changes slightly. So we're on measure 17, which begins with the open A, a measure of A. Then here's where the difference happens. 1, 1, 4. So we change on the final quarter note, the fourth beat of the measure. That's the first time we've done that, where we've changed in the middle of the measure. So we have A, 1, 1, 4. A, 1, 1, 4. Right. Hear that? Hear how that change works? Let's try it together. 1, 2, open A, A, 1, get ready, 1, 4, A, 1, 1, 4. All right, then we have 2 measures of just open A. That's easy, right? And then we have 2 measures of this pattern, 1, 1, A. So again, we're changing in the middle of the bar on the last note. 1, 1, A, 1, 1, A. So let's try that. This is measure 21. It's starting on the open A, 2 bars of open A, then 1, 1, A, 1, 1, A. Here we go. Ready, and A, before we do the last couple notes, let's try and put those 8 measures together. So we're going back to measure 17. So this is the pattern where we have A, 1, 1, 4. All right? So find it on your music. Hands in place. We're going to play the open A, bows on the string. 1, 2, ready, play. A, 1, 1, 4. A, 1, 1, 4. A again. Stay on A. Here it is. 1, 1A. 1, 1A. All right, so you can stop and practice that group of notes if you need to, or if you're ready to go on, we'll go on to the last 2 measures that we play, measures 25 and 26. Now here are finally our rhythm changes. We have 2 half notes, 1, A, and then we have a whole note, 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. So first finger, open A, and then a very long first finger note. Let's try it, starting with first finger, 2 beats. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. I'm actually taking my bow off the string. Let me show you that. And also I have to be very careful as I'm playing that whole note not to run out of bow. So I really got to slow my bow down. So here it is. 1, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. You'll notice in your music a little symbol below that whole note that looks shaped like this, a little hairpin. That is a decrescendo. It means to get quieter. And that's pretty easy to do on this note because I'm moving away from the frog. So I just let the natural decrescendo of a down bow, if I'm not trying to correct it, happen. So just kind of let it disappear. And then rather than stopping on the string like that, which doesn't sound nice, I'm going to smoothly come off of the string. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. See it? So the last two measures that we play. Ready, and 1, A, 1, 2, 3, quiet, off. Now in your music, you'll see that there are two more measures with just a block in the center. That's a whole rest. So the accompaniment is playing during that time. You're done. It's just a fade out on the accompaniment. So just to get the feel of this, let's try from measure 23. So this is the 1, 1A, 1, 1A, 1A, 1. So the last four measures that we actually play. Here we are, so bows on the string, first finger's ready. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 1A, 1, 1A, 1, A. Here it is, 1, 2, disappear, off the string. Don't let go of your finger. Take the bow off. Finger stays down. Otherwise it might go like that and it wouldn't sound right. Okay, so that's smooth A. Now I want you to hear the accompaniment, how it's going to actually sound. So I'm going to bring it up here and start it and play along with it, just so you get an idea of the actual whole song. And this accompaniment is kind of designed, it's a 80s kind of smooth pop style, a little bit of a George Michael sound. So here we go. So you can hear this. Let me bring my volume up. And there's a 2-bar count off, so I can get ready. All right, and you hear the fade out that happens there in the accompaniment track after you pull off. It really only takes about a bar, but put 2 bars in there just to be safe. So the next video will be that play along backing track. So you can when you're ready, you can move on to that and play with it. There's also a link to a Soundslice interactive lesson for this, which will be just like we did with Planet D. You'll be able to play listen to either the cello part or play the backing track and have the cello music there in front of you that you can play along with. So practice hard. We'll see you next time.